All right, so everyone logging in right now should be receiving at least a few thousand soul lessons. So we're going to talk about what's going on. I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I actually did not know about this until it happened. So there's that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to say that Pain Blade pointed this out, so huge shout out to Pain. So here's what was going on. So basically, somehow, some way, they accidentally, I guess, nerfed both Emma Laurent and Sa as well, which is pretty interesting. I don't know how that happens in particular, but yeah. So let's see what they say here. A patch is scheduled for Monday, which is today. I guess it's already gone through. Please restart the game after it's complete to ensure the fixes are applied successfully. Fix the issue where advancement effects for certain hunters were applied incorrectly. Tier 4 advancement of Emma was before users' HP increases by 5%. It's now 10%. Advancement 2 for Sujiu is 15% for the effective break effectiveness. Instead of break damage, it's literally just break effectiveness. So that's interesting. Well, I guess it's probably the same thing, right? Like it's the same thing. Because it doesn't say damage during the break. I'm not going to just go on about that because I have a bad problem doing that sometimes. Also, the notation has been standardized and skill effects remain unchanged. Okay, so I guess they changed the verbiage. It is the same thing though. The charm effect for the skill Tempest of SSR Libora is applied normally, and the effect details have moved to the passive details. Okay, as well. They've also done some other stuff here. We confirmed the issue resulting from the incorrect implementation. I was like, what the heck? Of the past test data during the past update. While focusing the confirmed changes during the update, sufficient verification was not conducted on parts outside of the targeted items. We sincerely apologize for inconvenience caused due to the issue. In the future, we'll make greater efforts. All right. So here's the compensation. So everyone's going to log in and get 3,000 soul essence. And then hunters possessing Emma Laurent advanced tier 4 or higher. Okay? So if this didn't affect you, you're not getting this 2,000 for Emma. And then if you have Sa as well at advancement 2 or higher, you get another 2,000. So 7,000 cumulative. So I should be logging in, and I didn't even notice. I wasn't actually affected by it. And I don't have my 3,000. Or I don't have my bad. I have my 3,000. I don't have my 4,000. Where is it at, CM Iron? Where is it at, bro? There was probably something saying like, oh, it'll be out later or blah, blah, blah. Before I don't get it. They were like, bro, wait a minute. We heard you just say that you weren't. We literally were watching your video in real time. I don't know how that works. It's not a live video, but we were watching it in real time. And we're like, nah, you don't get it anymore. Let's see what they said. So if anyone's missing that, like I am, then they'll have note here. Yeah, it is. It's this little line here. The reward distribution schedule will be announced throughout this notice in the future. We apologize in the future. So they're going to update this in the future, but they haven't done so yet. The reason why is because the 3,000 is easy. That's going to everybody. This requires some verification. I mean, I can't imagine it takes more than 15 minutes to discern all the players in the game that have a Suju at advancement tier. You got to be able to press a few buttons and see that. But I'll cut them some slack. But it does take some verification. So I assume that's why. But nonetheless, it's not here now. And it will be here in the future. So I wanted to also kind of take a moment to talk about some ongoing content. And how have you guys been feeling about the ongoing content in terms of like the summer event? Are you finding, and I want to get some feedback from you guys, are you finding the current event to be a good one? I actually have not started it yet. I was saving it for a video, but I'm going to have to just go ahead and dive in because it's been a couple days. People aren't going to really care about that at that point. You know, I had to do that like day one type deal. But are you excited about this? How you feel about some of the new features? Like, oh my God, just log in to see this is what they're doing to solo leveling, man. This is what they've done to solo leveling. I'm not complaining. It's just really interesting. I should have known though. Netmarble, you should have known. How are you guys finding the ease of collecting some of these free costumes? Things like that. Also, what is the biggest pain point for you guys? So here's the funny thing. Gold has always been a pain point because I've mentioned before in the past, it's a pain point because it's designed to be. They want it to be because they want to still try to capitalize on people spending money to try to get the gold. However, it stopped being a problem for me for a really long time. And you know what? It became a fat problem when the level cap raised. And that makes sense. Because now all of a sudden, you don't have to. But all of a sudden, now there's a bunch of dudes that are like, hey, I need more levels now. So I need more gold. What's the level cost for 40K, 85K? That's not crazy. It's not crazy right now. It's going to go up, obviously, when we get to 85. But that is kind of peeking its head in as another problem, considering that you still, and this is where I really lost my gold, considering you still need your gold for every goddamn thing else you do. And also, they've been dropping these new artifacts, and so I've been trying to work on them too. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. Like, I have some, like, healing given +2. God damn it, bro. I was so excited about this one. MP, win damage, crit, healing given +2. I was so disgusted. I almost threw up in my mouth, bro. I almost threw. That may be good with Hanse Mi, however you pronounce her name, because apparently she's a wind healer. I'll talk about her next in another video. But I almost threw up in my mouth. But where's the feature to re-roll these? I need it. Like, it can't come fast enough. It can't come fast enough. But anyway, I still use it because it at least has MP, win damage, crit. I like it. But that +2 on anything else, anything other than HP, which also has +2, by the way, would have been fine. But anyway, yeah, they put these in. So all of a sudden, it's like, all right, well, if I want to work on all these new artifacts that they're giving at the higher levels and stuff, then it becomes a really, really big pain point having to deal with the gold. So the gold issue, it never really went away, but I don't buy gold. That's the thing. I don't spend money on gold. I don't spend a ton of money on the game, period. Some people, you know, feel otherwise. That's fine if you do, but I don't. And so I don't buy gold. And so if you don't buy the gold, then all of a sudden, the pain issue, like I said, never went away for some people, but it's really back in full force because of the fact that, you know, it's here. And also, once upon a time, it still is. It still technically is here. But once upon a time, it was a really, really big pain point to, like, unequip all this stuff. Because now it's like 8,000. No, it's 48. Ooh, that's fat. That's fatter than I thought it was. That's fatter than I thought it was. That's fatter than I thought it was. But it used to be, like, double that. So, okay. Maybe not double, but, like, you know, 0.5 higher, right? So anyway, yeah, but the point is that gold is still a really fat pain point. So if you're struggling like I am starting to with gold, then this is kind of what you can do to alleviate that. Go in here and just sell a bunch of crap you're not using. That's pretty much the easiest way to do it. Not salvage, but sell. Go in and just sell all the stuff you're not using. I don't typically let it do legendary, but you can do that as well. See, 110,000 selected right there. But also, what's going to happen is as you play, right, you're going to get a lot of these where it's like, I'm not ever going to use most of this stuff here. These, like, I'm not going to use these. Like, I'm just not. I don't care about the level. I'm not going to use them. So that's one of the ways you can alleviate that. I could do this a handful of times at least right now if I were to allow it to do this one as well. Or, you know what? Raise the level cap on this. Now, all of a sudden, it's able to pull more. I'll push it to 70. I don't care. Go to 78 because it's not going to grab any of my good ones. See, like, it avoided that that summer piece there. So it's just going to grab most of the stuff I don't really care about. I actually will take this off because I don't want it to sell some of these purples. But, yeah, so that's kind of how things are. But hey, I got a couple 100,000 gold, right? That's going to totally last me. I can't totally spend that in 3 seconds. Outside of that, the main way I get gold is here or in the gates. So make sure you're doing your gates if you're not. For whatever reason, make sure you're doing your gates because they are so damn vital to your progression in the game. But that's like one of the main pain points. But there's also other pain points, right? Like obviously gacha tickets. You know what? I think this game low-key is kind of free-to-play friendly in terms of like gacha tickets because like I said, I don't buy a lot, but I always have a lot of tickets in terms of like gachas and like soul lessons because there's always codes and stuff, right? So they're always giving out a bunch of soul lessons. So I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty generous in that regard. Maybe you disagree, things like that. Maybe you've never had enough and you never will have enough, right? But like other enhancement materials, marks of time are terrible to come by, but that's not a huge deal if you don't have your armor enhanced too much. Weapon enhancement stuff, oh my freaking god, dude. Weapon enhancement stuff is disgustingly bonkersly gross to get. I have a number of weapons leveled up, but I have a lot of weapons here that aren't leveled up. I need to start working more here, admittedly, but like it's a very, very, very tedious resource to come by. the way I've been able to kind of like stave off that problem is because I can't really show you because I'm not gonna. Oh, this is another thing. Melding cubes, that becomes a big problem too. Like you can exchange these for these, but I only have 16. It's not like you ever have a ton of these. So anyways, one of the ways I kind of stave off that is by doing a lot of exchanges in the gate shop. I'm like always exchanging here for the weapon enhancement gears and then also these 2 melding cube boxes every day. That does add up over time. You can also grab those keys if you want to, or enhancement chips. Also, another thing that I do is I oftentimes will craft into the higher level stuff that I need. You can't really do that with the enhancement stuff in particular, but like I was thinking about these. You can with these if you needed to do that, and these as well. But like all this stuff's kind of like a heavy pain point if it's not the base rarity. Like even these, I've got 20 of those. I've probably got a couple hundred of these. Yeah, 130. So like everything above base rarity in this game is a big pain point that you start to see whenever you start investing more and more and more. And that's where like the events kind of come in, right? Because the events are where you get a lot of this stuff on the side too. Like this shop is giving me a lot of resources. And that's not even me talking about like blessing stones or rune fragments, which rune fragments are low-key not that hard to get, but blessing stone ones are a little bit harder to get. The problem with that system is that you have to constantly roll into another one, right? So you fuse and then you get a dupe and then you fuse again, and it's like a never-ending cycle, right? I can only see that system aging terribly like a year from now if you've been playing, if you're free to play or not. If you've been playing diligently, it's going to be terrible dog water system a year from now when it's just so diluted and you have everything and you constantly roll into dupes. You're going to roll into legendary dupes. Can you imagine? Could you imagine rolling a legendary dupe? I've done it. And I don't have everything. I've done it already with the blessing stones. So anyway, that's pretty much it for everything I wanted to kind of talk about. But like I said, I do like how they've been, like if you haven't been keeping up with it, the gameplay loop is Battlefield of Chaos is there constantly. They've actually started doing these Battlefield of Trials, which I need to do this new one for the Wind Element guys, right? Yeah, they've been doing these, so that's good. They also make it for both sides. They didn't have to do both sides. I think that's pretty cool. 15 floors of content, 15 days. Battlefield of Time is recurring. Obviously, the gameplay loop with the instance dungeons, encore missions, gates. We're seeing our first actual in-game non-story event. That's a separate like story of I guess event. But workshop and power of destruction are also there. I kind of like the gameplay loop. It's just I have problems with resource in this game. The resources are really, really, really tedious to get if you're not going to be spending money, etc. Also, I really like how the icons change with the costume changes. Some games don't do that. I like that a lot. All right, guys, so I hope you all enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe. Hopefully, we all get our extra 4,000 soul essence. Do I have any tickets for a gacha pull? I have 36. Do I want to do this? What's coming next? So, there's not going to be... So, next banner is, I think, Wu Jinchul. There's not going to be a new weapon for a couple weeks. But you should, I would recommend not spending these black tickets until there's a new weapon. Unless there's like a weapon like Phoenix Soul that's really, really, really strong that you're looking for. And I got trash. That's what I get. And then I get trash, and you know what I do? I want to go and go and go and go. And I'm like, nah, screw that. I can't end like that. It can't be like that. I got to keep going. All right, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, I'm just noticing, Amamiya, why is her weapon like this little attachment thing, but not the sword? Why is her weapon not the actual sword with the attachment? It's just the attachment. What the hell? What? For what reason? Why isn't it actually the sword with that on? Like this, like it's the same concept. What the hell? All right, whatever. I'm not mad at it. You get to see the bunny a little bigger. All right, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. What are your biggest pain points, etc. I'll see you all next time, guys.